Welcome back to the Recap Podcast. My name's Ian. That's Colin.
What is up?
Today we're going to be playing several games, including cross-species genetics. That's not true. We're not playing games. Although, want to know something that I've been meaning to bring up to you?
Yes.
For so long, and it happened organically this time. Cross-species genetics.
That was pretty good.
It was pretty organic.
Tell me about this thing.
Yeah. So cross-species genetics.
Yeah.
Which I'm just gonna call it cross-species because genetics
Just
is
call
a
it
big word.
CSG.
CSG.
I don't know why I struggle with that letter for so long.
I want to be so good at that. Like little.
Just boom.
They're not acronyms, but like close.
Abbreviations.
Yeah. Thank you. Because of the Ghost Runners podcast. I know. But that's why.
I don't know why I struggle. I have to visualize the words in my mind and be like, what letter?
I think it's G. I don't know.
G.
It's so frustrating because they're so good at it.
That's just a classic.
Like if I say
thing.
the words like, "Hey, does it pick?" You're like, "Yeah, DIP."
Dip.
Yeah, dip.
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 Does it dip?
I don't know.
Does it dip?
Does it pig? We're so
Anyway,
stupid.
Cross-species is the act, I would say, or the abomination, depending on where you sit with this.
Theologically speaking.
Yeah, pretty much. Of taking one species, let's say a human, and crossing its DNA with, let's say, a poodle, and then incubating it and having living, breathing substance. My question to you is, how far do you think this goes in the real world?
Let me ask you this, because you've clearly done a lot of research on this, right?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, good. How possible is that?
If I answer that question, it would give you the answer of, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not playing this game. I win. So you should just decide how far you think this has gone in the real world, and then like my question is like, to what extent do you think that this happens?
I see. I misunderstood the question. You're asking
all as well
what I think has already happened.
Yeah.
Well, knowing the TikToks you watch, probably pretty a lot. I think I don't think it's happened with.
Let me see.
Yep.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Let me, for the record, let the record show that I don't have TikTok. I watch Instagram Reels.
Sorry.
And
I'm sorry I hurt your reputation like that.
You were also spot on to say that that's what interested me.
A reel, not TikTok.
It was
not
a reel.
Spot on.
It was a reel.
Pretty close. I am gonna go out on a limb.
Yeah.
And say that they haven't cross-specied anything with a human.
Okay.
That's what I got. Anything else? I think maybe. As far as I knew, it's only possible to do that with like animals that are like similar. I don't know. What's the category above species?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying though? Like there's
a
liger, like a lion tiger mix.
Yeah, you can cross two dogs or two cats.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
But I don't think it's possible beyond that. But judging by the fact that we have a segment about it, I kind of think it is possible beyond that.
It is possible.
Or at least according to the Instagram reel you watched.
Well,
you did further research.
So here's the deal.
Yeah, tell me.
The Instagram reel is more of an Instagram account.
Oh.
I don't remember what it's called, which kind of bums me out, and I could have looked it up. I probably still could at some point. Maybe I will. But, so you're right in a sense, okay? Some people have crossed humans with things. It's weird. The only one that I've seen in my research was a human pig.
No way.
Yeah.
No way it happened.
It did.
I don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
Okay, well, that's the one that I saw.
Yeah.
That was funny. And yeah, so that's what I saw, and it didn't live very long.
Sure.
But this Instagram account. Okay, so the other part that you're right about is that it can't be done naturally.
Sure.
Outside of its like compatible, like sexual.
Yeah, I want to say genus. Is that like the?
That could be it.
Is that the thing
it's
about
like
species?
Compatible sexual companion.
Sure.
So like a dog can be bred with a dog. If you put them together, eventually they will breed and produce offspring. But this account splices DNA together. Okay. So there are all sorts of things, dude, from like mouse lizards to like chicken dogs to I think they did like a shark frog one time. Like it's absurd. There's so many. They did a panda dog. They took DNA from a panda and from a dog and spliced it together. It was the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life, but I didn't know if I should be excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can imagine my turmoil.
I can.
When
because I'm experiencing
looking at it and being like, that's adorable, but wait, maybe not a good idea. Yeah, so that's exactly what they do. They splice the DNA together and then they bring it back to their lab and they incubate the eggs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they do in the case of mammals, but since they've done dogs and things, they're obviously as mammals. But
yeah, I mean, I think it's
I don't know.
A similar process. Mammals have eggs too. Similar. It's just a little different.
Right. Right. Yeah, so like that's crazy, right?
Yeah. I'm just still a little bit like what are your sources on this? Tell me about the websites you read about this on. Was it like
tell you about the Instagram account?
It's just an Instagram account?
The Instagram account, yeah.
But like
is what I've seen.
Did you do further research?
Not a ton, no. I have in the past.
I just kind of feel like a lot of this isn't true. All.
I mean,
it just can't. I
don't think there's literal videos of the animals, and they're not natural animals.
Really?
Let me see if I can find it.
Please find one.
Are we back on the pod now?
I think so.
Okay, cool.
Let's recap for them what happened.
So basically,
we both Googled for like 15 minutes and are having trouble finding anything.
Yeah. So it kind of seems like it's not possible, is what Colin has found.
Well, it's like they've mixed human DNA with some animal DNA.
Yeah.
They've never done anything more than like they have an embryo,
Yeah.
that doesn't develop super far.
Right.
And it's really like very, very small amounts of human DNA.
Right.
Which I guess I don't know at what point it matters, Well,
in our conversation, it doesn't so what we were talking about has been like I wasn't able to find what I was saying is right, on the internet, and the internet itself is basically saying that is not happening.
What you saw was a figment of your imagination.
Right, maybe it was.
Maybe you dreamt it.
Maybe I dreamt it, and it was me doing it. A sign from God, bad cheese. You be the judge.
There's a show on Netflix called Sweet Tooth. Heard of it?
I have a sweet tooth.
Do you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, depending on how this show
it doesn't. I didn't get far enough into it to understand what that means.
Okay.
I watched like one episode.
I would assume that you didn't watch very much if you didn't figure out what the title means.
Well, it's about like this post-apocalyptic world.
Oh, this sounds cool.
Actually, at some point, people started giving birth to like these humans, but they were like human-animal hybrids.
Wow.
And no one had any idea how or why it was happening.
That's kind of cool.
It was. So there's like
everybody was like, the next stage of evolution has begun.
I don't know. I got like 2 episodes in. It wasn't.
Why'd you stop?
I don't really remember.
Okay.
I think I just got bored, forgot about it. I do it sometimes where I'll start a show and then like something happens. Like, I don't know, like I get busy and then I just forget that I started the show.
And then it's like not even interesting.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't want to get back into that.
The same thing happens to me.
So, but like there's this little boy with like deer antlers and he has like a deer nose.
Oh,
so it's like everyone's basically human, but like they'll have an elephant trunk or.
That's cool.
So I don't know.
Is it gray?
Let's find some photos.
Okay. Because I'm curious what it looks like on its face, you know?
Yeah. Maybe you just saw footage. Maybe the footage you saw in these Instagram reels was just footage from this show.
No.
No.
What I saw was real.
You're right.
And you can't convince me otherwise.
Okay, so like here's this baby in the that was born.
Okay, cool.
It's like a dog, I think.
Yeah.
This is the boy from the show. He just has ears and antlers.
I have seen that photo before.
Cool. What else do we got? Yeah, we got this elephant thing.
Hey, yo. That's an elephant.
Yeah. So
made out of a human.
So I don't know.
Cool.
That's what we got.
Wild.
What else we got in this podcast?
Yeah. So that's cross species for you.
That's cross species.
How about we get into, and by the way, if I find it, we'll bring it up again. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to spend a ton of time looking, but we have been talking a lot about it around our devices. So it might just pop up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It feels like we've been doing this for 3 hours.
It does. But a lot of that stuff at the beginning is going to get cut. So we got to keep going.
Exactly. Do we?
I don't
have to.
You want to be done?
No. Should we tell them right now, though?
What?
Might as well say it now, because for the people that don't make it to the end.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
We're going to miss next week and the week after.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Got stuff.
Got stuff going on.
Yeah.
It's just not.
I feel really bad about it. But also, not that bad.
What are you going to do? It's part of life, you know?
Yeah, this podcast doesn't exist to serve you. So, if that's what...
It's more of an excuse for us to hang out than anything else.
It so much is, dude. It's hilarious.
It works.
So, it really does. If you're like, man, I wish I saw my friend more, just be like, you want to start a podcast?
You want to start a podcast?
Heck, you don't even have to start a podcast. You guys could just get together and sit in a room.
That's what we do.
That's all we do.
That's all we do.
We sit in a room and we record ourselves, and then we decide that people might want to listen to it.
No, we don't. We don't think anyone wants to listen to it. We just put it out there anyway.
People do.
I know.
People want to listen.
It shocks me, to be honest with you.
It really does.
Shock you
Shocks
too?
me too. Yeah. Sorry. Like people who say once, they're like, man, I love the podcast. I'm like, oh, that's cool. But then when they say it twice, I'm like, do you?
Like, are you serious?
Really?
Do you really love it?
Do you really like it? I want to like walk up to him like, why?
What do you like about it?
it?
What draws you to it? What does
It's funny. It's funny. Okay. Should we jump into the thing or jump into my thing? I kind of want to jump into the thing.
Let's jump into the thing.
All right. We're back again with your favorite segment, Top 3.
Top 3.
Top 3. Top 3.
This week, as we teased last week, did we?
Command Z. All right. What's up? Command Z, Command Z, Command Z.
This week, as we teased last week, we are doing TV shows.
Yeah, we are.
A lot of good TV shows.
Top 3 TV shows.
Ian probably referenced his last week a couple times.
My what? My number 1?
Or one of your top 3.
Probably my number 1.
Probably number 1.
Probably number 1.
You want to get us started?
Yeah, with the number 1. My number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. With my number 3. That's hard. Yeah. So my number 3 pick is a show called Suits.
Oh.
I didn't see that one coming, right?
No, I didn't, but I don't know why. Because like it makes a lot of sense now that you say it.
Yeah. When I was thinking about this, I was like, man, I know my first 2. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, what is that show that I like totally binged not too long ago?
Yeah.
And I could not think of it. And then I was scrolling through Netflix to try to find it, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, it was Suits.
Yep.
Obviously, I was like, I love that show. Yeah. So Suits is my number 3 pick. Quick summary: dude with photographic memory, okay, and also huge brain, which you might consider that like one and the same. It's not, okay. Colin has big brain. He doesn't have a photographic memory, right?
Right.
I have a photographic memory. I don't have a big brain. But that was just for example purposes.
You do have a big brain in real life.
I do have a big brain. It's the same size as everybody else's. But I don't have a photographic memory. Clearly. Suits is about this kid who has a photographic memory and a really big brain. And if he reads something, he will remember it forever. Okay. Like that's kind of how his photographic memory works. Like it's not always like you just remember everything you see, but if he reads it and takes time to kind of digest it, then he'll just remember it. And he can recall it really well. And so he's always wanted to be a lawyer because his parents were killed. And
okay, you need to not spoil stuff like this.
It's not spoiled. You find it all out right in the beginning.
Not in the first episode, do you?
Just about. He's always wanted to be a lawyer because his parents died in a car accident and they weren't like, he feels that their case was handled poorly. So he's always wanted to be a lawyer. And this big shot lawyer is looking for someone, but the law firm that he works for only hires from Harvard, like directly out of Harvard. And so, but this kid impresses him so much. He's like, I got to have this kid work for me. He's so good. So he hires him. And so the whole like overarching thing of the show is that he has to keep people from finding out that he's not actually like a lawyer, because not only did he not graduate from Harvard, but he doesn't have a law degree. So he's practicing law without a license,
right? Which
is a big no-no.
That is.
And there's drama and romance.
It's a lawyer show. That's what it is.
It's a lawyer show. Yeah.
That pretty much sums it up, I feel like.
Well, I don't know. I guess it's the only one I've ever seen, but it's really good.
It's just, and this is not a dig on it at all, but it's like just a
choose your words carefully.
Pretty regular show about lawyers.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It is.
You know, that's not bad. There's nothing wrong with regular. It's a good show.
The regular show is not a good show. It sucks.
I don't know if I've ever seen a full episode, but I can imagine myself enjoying it.
I can too. You'd probably like Family Guy.
I like a lot of those stupid animated shows.
You like The Simpsons, right?
I like early Simpsons.
Well, you would like Family Guy, but you would like it as maybe you wouldn't, because Family Guy and The Simpsons are like you like one and you don't like the other.
Yeah, I'm just not that loyal to.
Maybe
to them that way.
I like Family Guy, and I just like don't super enjoy The Simpsons.
Sure, I have seen clips of Family Guy.
Yeah,
never a full episode.
And how do you feel about the clips?
I thought it was funny.
Oh, maybe you would like it.
I've seen The Simpsons. I think that's funny for the first 15 to 20 seasons. And then,
but then it just got out of hand.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, just stop. Okay.
Do you think that?
Tell me. Ask me.
It didn't feel funny, or do you think that you just desensitized yourself to the humor? Because you watched it like every night.
The first one for sure.
Oh, okay.
It just got worse. It just got like, if you watch a current episode of The Simpsons, there are maybe one or two funny parts. If you watch
subjectively,
sure,
just gotta throw that out. I'm just kidding.
Unless I say otherwise, everything I say is subjective.
Okay. Say Christ is Lord.
Objectively, Christ is Lord. You see what I did there?
I like it. See? I like it. It was good. It was good.
I gave myself a way out.
Cool. Cool.
First 10 seasons, though, you watch an episode, it's like funny part after funny part after funny part.
Yeah.
Anyway, my number 3 pick.
Good idea. Let's move on.
This is hard for me. I'm going to say...
Do you have 3?
Yeah.
And you're like, which one goes where?
Yes. Community.
Wow. Made it to the top 3.
It did. I kind of forgot about that show until you started watching it. I was like, I'm going to rewatch it.
Yeah.
And I've been rewatching it.
It's so good. It's so good.
Great show. It's a comedy show about a study group at a community college.
Yep.
And it's very... very funny. It's unlike a lot of sitcoms, it doesn't really follow a formula, and just kind of like it's unlike any sitcom you've ever seen.
You really never know what you're gonna get.
Yes, they're not afraid to like commit to a bit for the entire episode,
which sometimes
every once in a while it falls flat, but almost always it's great.
Claymation was bad.
That was a bad one.
I hated it.
There's one where they find out that the school's cafeteria, the chicken nuggets are like, they sell out every time. So
chicken tenders.
Yes. Sorry. Chicken tenders. So they basically, one of them gets a job as a fry cook, and the whole thing is like a mafia movie parody. and they get control of the chicken tenders, and it's hilarious.
That one is so good. That one's so good. He's like, all of us had a job. I was the cook.
He's narrating the show.
I was the runner. Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, that episode, he narrates the whole thing.
Yeah.
Most episodes don't have a narrator.
Right.
But they just commit to the joke for the entire episode.
Yeah, it's all about him like reliving this experience that he had when they did that, and like it's cool because like when you say that they commit to a bit, like I feel like one of their overarching bits that just kind of continues throughout the show's entirety is that they do like parodies of other sort of
mostly movies.
I don't know, like just like but movie genres even.
Yeah.
Like they'll do like a couple times they've done a mockumentary, but it's not a mockumentary because it's a documentary inside the show.
Yeah.
Like they're like people will look up and they're like, what's with the cameras? And they're looking directly at the screen, at the camera.
Because the whole thing is filmed by Abed.
Well, right? Yeah, in those ones.
In that one.
Yeah, and he's like, not always.
There's one that's like actually a documentary.
Yeah, it's not always Abed.
With some random guy narrating it like it's a History Channel.
Yeah, that's the one I just finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that one's like an actual documentary. But they're like, what's with the cameras, you know? And it's like, I don't know, he's just doing whatever, you know, it's just him being him or whatever. So, or they do stuff like the Mafia one, or like they do crime spoofs, or like
action movie spoofs. They did a Western one.
Yeah.
And it's really fun because
so good.
They like follow, what am I trying to say? They'll follow the rules that the show's established. Like it all makes sense within the show. You know, like it's always the same set. You know, they always takes place on the school, and they don't add stuff for the spoof they're doing to make it feel more like that. So it'll be a Western, but they'll still just be running through the halls of the school.
Right.
But it'll just have like an orange tint on the color grade of the episode, and it'll just feel right, even though it's like, what am I even looking at right now?
Yeah, exactly. There was an episode where they're kind of reliving their adventures. And somebody goes like, oh, it's the one where they go in and they get the monkeys stuff out of the vent.
Yeah. The one that's like a clip show episode.
Yeah,
but
it's so cool.
With stuff we've never actually seen before.
Right. He's like, oh, look, it's the Western badge from that time we got caught in that ghost town.
Yeah.
And it shows a clip, and like we've never seen, like that's not an episode.
Right.
It's hilarious. Or, dude, the one with 6 different timelines.
That's like widely considered the best episode.
Really?
Yeah.
It's so good.
That's the one, if you ever seen the meme where the guy like walks into the room and then it like zooms back and there's like stuff on fire everywhere and just everything is going crazy. Yeah. That's from that show.
There was another thing that just happened that I was like, oh, that's totally...
That's the meme.
Like a meme that I've seen. I forgot. They do musical spoofs sometimes, which I think are pretty good.
They are pretty good because they do a good job with them.
Yeah. They just did a Christmas one, like a Christmas musical spoof that was pretty good. Donald Glover is in this movie or this show.
Is it Glover? I thought it was Glover.
It could be. I don't know for sure. But he raps in the musical spoof, and it was so good. Like,
dude, I love the Spanish rap they do in like the first episode.
Spanish rap. I don't remember that.
That's like it's like the post credit scene or like the ending thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they do like...
They've done a couple of variations of that.
They do cold opens at the end of the show.
And they're always fantastic.
And they're so good.
It's almost always just the same 2 characters.
Yeah. But it's not always.
Not always.
And it's just like the same 2 characters doing the most random thing.
Yeah.
And then the show ends.
It's great.
Anyway. Community is so good.
We just spent a long time talking about it.
I just talked to my coworker about it because he is a big fan. Okay, if you're a big fan of The Office and Parks and Rec, it's like same style comedy, but like completely different format of show. I would say, like a lot of the same style. Like you'll get a racist joke in there from time to time, or like I don't know, just like the jokes that make you laugh in The Office. Like similar ones are in Community, I would say. So if you like those 2 shows, it's definitely worth a shot. But he likes both those shows. And he's like, yeah, I tried Community. I don't know. I just didn't love it. And I was like, how far'd you get? And he's like the first episode. And I was like, you got to watch like the first 5.
Yeah, I would agree. The first episode is pretty famously terrible.
I didn't I didn't hate it.
Really?
But
it just doesn't.
I should join a Facebook group, honestly.
It just doesn't like
I'm gonna do it right now.
Okay. It doesn't. It's not a good like. Doesn't show you what the show is very well.
Fair enough.
It's just a very generic sitcom.
I felt like it established sort of the idea of the show.
Yeah, it's necessary.
Like it,
because it gets everyone.
It did what most sitcoms, in my opinion, the first episode did what most sitcoms take a whole season to do.
Sure.
It said, here's a study group now.
Yep.
They're all friends.
Right.
And they're all like
it's just
super
like it's like putting
all
the action figures in place and be like, ready, play.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what the first episode is.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the show because it's not like most sitcoms you see nowadays where they're very safe, I would say. You know, they really like stick to their format.
Yeah.
They make like, okay, joke here. Make sure you put the laugh track so everybody knows how to laugh.
It's an old show too.
Yeah, what does it start in like 2012? 9. Does it really?
I think 9.
Wow.
There was just an episode where they were referencing their first year and they keep saying 2009.
Wow.
I'm not sure how to find a Facebook group for it.
I don't know.
Because I typed in community show. That's not doing it.
Do you want me to do it for you while you talk about your next pick?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. My next pick is, I think, should be on everyone's list, in my opinion. It's The Office.
That's not your
number 2 pick.
No, number 1.
Number 2 pick is The Office. Yep. It's a phenomenal show. If you don't know what it is, I'm not going to explain it to you because you should. But like the thing that I love about The Office is I can watch any episode of The Office I can watch any episode of The Office randomly without... How do I say this? If I turn the TV on and there's an episode of The Office, I can watch it and enjoy it almost every single time. There's like maybe 3 episodes in that show's entire run that I would be like, I'm not watching this one. Obviously, Scott's Tots is one of those.
For sure.
It sucks.
I couldn't find a good one.
Did you even try?
I went to groups and then searched community, and it was just giving me like churches.
And community groups.
I did like community TV show and said no results. I did community show, and there was one with like 1,000 members.
And you didn't join it?
Well, there's got to be a big one that's got a bunch of members.
Well, if you find it, invite me. Do you use Facebook?
Occasionally.
Okay. Anyway, The Office.
Scott's Tots.
Great show. Scott's Tots sucks. It's so bad. But
there's another one like that, but yes, I would agree. With the exception of a few episodes.
Yeah. Also, maybe a hot take, Dinner Party, not that good. It's good.
It's good.
It's not that good.
It's not as good as The Injury.
The Injury is good. All of you guys out there being like, it's the best episode ever. Like, it's
pretty funny. Good. It's a funny episode, but it's a funny show. You know, you gotta do more than just funny. Right.
Like, have you ever seen the episode called Weight Loss?
That's pretty funny.
That one's so good.
That's a funny episode.
And Jim and Pam get engaged in that one.
Whoa, spoiler.
Come on.
I don't know.
We can't do Office spoiler. That's like saying Thanos snapped.
Iron Man died.
Iron Man died. Yeah, that's what it is.
I said it.
I love you 3000.
Oh, my heart.
Anyway, that's my number 2.
That's a good pick.
It's got to be on the top 3, in my opinion. If it's not on your top 3...
What are you doing?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess you like what you like.
Pick what you want. My number 2 pick is The Office as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I have no idea what your number... Unless it might be The Simpsons.
It's not The Simpsons.
Okay.
Stop trying to guess my number 1 pick.
Didn't I do that last time?
Yes, you did.
What's your number 1 movie?
Inception.
Right.
Like you said, great show.
Great show.
I would say likely the best comedy of all time.
Okay, so we know that his number 1 pick isn't a comedy.
Stop trying to guess. What I like, there's a lot of things. A lot of times when I'm watching it, I'll try to think about like what makes it's not on my list, on my notes. What makes it different than other shows? You know, like why does it stand apart?
Why is it so good
from everything?
How do
else?
I do what it has done?
Even when a lot of stuff has tried to copy its format, like Parks and Rec.
Which I feel like only Parks and Rec, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess there's a lot. Like, there's a family sitcom. I think it's Modern Family. It's either Modern Family or The Middle that does like talking heads and like the mockumentary style.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure which one.
Every reality TV show ever.
Yes, but that's like actually reality. Well, it's fake actual reality.
That's real reality, Colin.
Yeah, but it's just not real.
It's real.
It's all scripted. Come on. But
what?
A lot of people have copied the format. I don't think it works with any of the rest of them. Parks and Rec is fine. It's not The Office.
It's not The Office. But did it try to be The Office?
I think it did.
Kinda.
I think it did.
I honestly think it actually totally did.
Really, like, every workplace comedy since then has tried to be The Office.
Yeah. How many workplace comedies are there?
There is Parks and Rec, Superstore.
Oh, yeah. Is that good? You've watched some of that, right?
I've watched the whole thing, actually. Oh. It's all right.
Is that on Netflix?
Mm-mm. Oh. It's on Peacock. Freaking Peacock. I know.
Peacock just straight up, like, robbed every show.
They got a lot of the sitcoms.
Sorry.
Which is kind of my jam.
Yeah.
But The Office just feels very real. Is what I've landed on, you know?
Yeah.
Like the people aren't like crazy good looking like in a lot of other shows, you know?
They are in Parks and Rec. I'll tell you that right now. Ron Swanson?
Is
the ideal man.
You may not like it, but this is what the ideal man looks like.
Doesn't he say that?
No, that's like a meme that I think I'm misquoting. I don't know. Nonetheless.
I have a permit. This just says I can do what I want. Not to worry. I have a permit.
Ron Swanson's got a lot of good quotes.
He does.
That's one of the only good things about that show.
Yeah. And the fact that like it kind of gave Chris Pratt like one of his biggest starts.
I honestly forgot Chris Pratt was in that.
Oh.
That's good. He's good. Good guy.
Yeah.
Funny guy.
All right, so are we ready for my number one?
Yes. Sorry, let me finish my thought.
Yeah, please.
It's very real. It feels like they feel like real people.
Yeah, they do.
You know, it's not like actors trying to imitate real people, especially like the early seasons. It just feels like it's got the awkwardness of real life.
Yeah.
That shows don't normally have.
Like just silence. Like, yeah. I love the scenes where they're all just typing.
Yes.
Like
you see a lot of that, I feel like, in the first couple seasons.
Maybe. It's just like maybe 7 seconds of just like, and then like a phone rings randomly.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden Dwight's like, oh, Michael. Yeah.
Classic Dwight.
And then, you know, the episode starts and it's over. But
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Great show.
I'm
glad we agreed on that.
Yeah.
For our number 2.
We're not going to agree on number 1.
Probably not.
I know what yours is for sure.
Do you even like this show?
Yeah.
You do?
I didn't finish season 4.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that
I know.
Sucks.
It was a combination of it got really scary and
it is pretty intense.
And I got bored.
Really?
I get bored by that show.
Really?
Should we say what it is before we keep talking about it?
No, we'll let them guess. It's my favorite show, I think, because I think a lot of it has to do with how. Oh, sorry, I was actually going to say it. I just totally forgot. My number 1 pick is Stranger Things. Okay, which I feel like is pretty up there in terms of like just like. I feel like a lot of people would agree with me that it's a great show.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. So it's my number 1 pick. I think a lot of it has to do with kind of the way I was introduced to it. I just have really good memories with the first time I watched it. I had the privilege of getting into that show right when season 3 dropped. Okay. Mm-hmm. It was a blessing and a curse. Okay. Because I hadn't seen any of it. So I had 3 seasons to binge, which was awesome.
Especially that show that has really long episodes.
Yeah. Maybe season 3 wasn't quite out yet, but it was very close behind.
Yeah.
So I watched it with my brother and his then girlfriend, now wife. We just binged it one day. Like we got through all of season 1 and into season 2 in one day. And I think the next day, it was over a weekend. I think the next day we finished up season 2, and then in a few weeks season 3 came out, and they came over again and we did it again. And we watched all
That's
of season
crazy.
3. I think we watched all of season 3 in a day.
Wow.
Or maybe it took 2 days. I don't know. But like, it was just, we just watched so much of that show. We were so invested in it. And so like, it's like a pretty fond memory of mine of like just remembering how that all, like, it was just fun to just hang out with them and watch the show. Since then, I've watched it like 3 or 4 more times. So like, I haven't, which is a lot, but it's also not, like, when you think about it.
Yeah, I forget, how many episodes are there per season?
Maybe
is it like 12?
Maybe 12.
Okay.
Or something like that.
And they're each about an hour.
Right.
So,
which is why I argue that it's more accurately a movie. I would say every season is like a 4-hour movie.
You could more accurately say it's like a series of movies.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think a season is a movie.
That's a long movie. If it's an hour a piece and there's like 12 episodes a season, that's like a 12-hour movie.
It is a long movie, but I think that this, like,
I think you'd be more accurate in saying each episode's like a movie.
Maybe. I think it's filmed like a movie, like episode to episode even. Like, it's like you'll end an episode and then you'll pick up the next episode like in the same shot.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like nothing stopped. Like, you just keep watching.
They don't wrap it up. They just kind of end.
Right.
Like, we're done now.
Yeah. Sometimes they wrap it up. Sometimes they don't. Yeah, but it's this awesome show. If you don't know what it is, it's about this town called Hawkins, Indiana, which I believe is a fictional town. I don't think there's a Hawkins, Indiana. I'm almost positive. It has 4 seasons, and it's about this like, it's mostly about this group of kids who discover something really strange going on in Hawkins, and like, it's just about their adventure of like figuring it out. And they meet this girl that like kind of has superpowers. Mm-hmm. And so that's all like, it's all connected and it all wraps up and it's cool. They do wrap up each season nicely for the most part.
Yeah, they leave like a little.
There's a few plot holes at the end that are like more so just setups for the next season.
Right,
but they have started production on season 5.
I saw that.
Just to like, I think they announced it today. So exciting. I think they were just doing a table read, but like.
Yeah, that's what it looked like in the photo.
Yeah, which means that we're probably
like 3 years away.
No, like a year.
I don't know. They still got to film it, and a show like that's got a lot of post-production.
I would say
like a movie can spend up to a year just in post.
I would say we're about a year away.
And I bet they got minimum 6 months of filming. Probably closer to 9. I don't know, Ian.
My theory,
probably closer to 6, 3 to 6.
My theory is we're about a year away.
Okay.
From it. From this season. Okay. I think within 6 months we'll hear a date though. That's what I think.
Okay.
We'll hear a drop date. Like it's coming out or at least like they'll tell us if it's in 2025 or 2026.
My prediction is summer 2025.
That's a good prediction.
Thank you.
I think that fits in my timeline, doesn't it? Yeah, within a year.
You're saying it'll come out in a year. We're a year away from release. This is January.
Oh. Yeah. I think that you're probably more right than me. So.
Yeah, I'm saying like 15, 16, 17 months.
I'm with you on that, probably. About. Yeah. But I'm thrilled. I'm very excited, as are many people. Also, one of my favorite actors of all time is in that show, who is only my favorite actor because of that show. It's the dude who plays Steve.
Steve's great.
Joe
Mama?
Joe Keery, I think is his name. Keery is his last name. Also, David Harbour. Winona Ryder. So good. Like a lot of really good actors and actresses. Mm-hmm. In the yeah, it's just a good show, dude. Really good show.
That made Millie Bobby Brown famous.
True. It also started a beautiful relationship that still is consisting or still around to this day. The dude who plays Will's brother, the older brother, and Nancy.
Oh, really?
Still dating.
Steve?
No.
Is that not his name?
No, his name is Steve is the guy that Nancy first dates.
Oh.
What's his name? Jonathan.
Yes. Why?
Jonathan.
Who's Steve?
Jonathan and Nancy. Steve is Steve. You know Steve.
Steve's the guy whose name you just said. The actor's name. Right?
Yeah, Joe Keery.
Yes.
Yeah.
I get those two confused.
Yeah. Anyway, great show. Really, really love it, and I'm excited for what comes next.
It's pretty dark if you're a child listening. So
yeah,
be careful.
Yeah, it is. It like
especially season 4.
I quit
because it was pretty scary.
All of the shows we're saying we
That's
like.
True.
Get your parents' permission before watching
Yes.
anything like that. Especially you adults. Get your parents' permission.
Yeah.
Ready for your number one?
I am.
I have no idea.
It is a show called Severance.
What?
Have I not talked to you about the show?
No.
It's a fantastic show.
How can it be your number one pick and I have never heard of it?
Well, I've talked to you about it before. It's a thing you just don't remember.
You can't do that every time that you just fail as a friend. And
No.
Forgot.
I have specific memories of sitting in, I think, either a Taco Bell or Sonic parking lot telling you about the show.
Okay, for a second, I almost knew you were lying because you just said Taco Bell or Sonic and then you finished with parking lot. Because I thought you were saying in the restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Nope.
We don't eat in the restaurant. Never. Anyway, just watching you destroy that.
Well, I'm trying to fix
candy container.
Got it.
Nice. It's a show. It's an Apple TV Plus original. So.
Jason Momoa?
No, that's C.
Oh, this is the elevator one.
Yes.
Gotcha. He's talked to me about it. We're good.
Okay.
Still best friends.
Friendship restored.
Still best friends. Wait. 3, 2, 1. We're gonna work on it.
That was a community thing. First time I tried that.
It's so fun, isn't it?
It's like
I've done it with a few people, but
you've done the handshake with more than just me.
I've tried it with other people. It doesn't work.
Okay.
I'm like, you got to be best friends for it to work. Mm-hmm. I'm convinced. Severance.
So, the show. Whoa. Did I peek in the thing or just my headphones?
The show.
That was crazy.
Oh, that didn't peak for me. I wonder if it doesn't peak. The show. Maybe my microphone doesn't peak.
That'd be cool. It's got like a
if it's like freaking out for you guys, I'm sorry, but it wasn't peaking in my thing.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Severance is a kind of futuristic. It takes place in modern time, but with advanced technology to a certain extent. Not really.
Really good way to put it. I'm serious.
I know. I thought you were joking at first, and then you didn't laugh, and I was like, oh, I guess that was a pretty good way to put it.
No, you did a great job.
Thank you. Basically, there is a company that this guy works for, and he doesn't know what they do. And the way that works, because it's top secret and he just can't know, apparently. And the way that works is he has undergone what is called the severance procedure. And what that does is they implant this little chip in his brain that splits it into essentially two different people.
So cool.
His work self and his outside of work self. So when there's an elevator that goes into the basement when he goes to work, and when he goes down that elevator, he switches personas. So, and then when he goes back up, he switches back to the other one. So what that means is his outside self, he goes to work, gets in the elevator, and then instantly he's coming back up the elevator and his workday is over.
Crazy.
Super crazy. But the opposite of that is also true. He has a work self that never leaves work.
Right.
So he gets in that elevator and goes up, and then he's instantly coming back down the next day. And neither of them know anything about the other one's life.
Do they know that there is another life?
Yes.
Okay. Both of them do?
Yeah.
Feels like the work person wouldn't, but I don't know. I don't know why.
Yeah. They just
well,
they understand like how the world works and what the world's like, you know? So it's not like he has no idea like what's a car.
Right.
You know, he knows what stuff is. You know, he just never leaves work.
Right.
But it's interesting because like if he doesn't get much sleep the night before, his work self is going to be tired.
Right.
But he's not going to know why.
Oh, that's funny.
So just stuff like that.
Is it stuff like he goes like, man, I wonder what I did last night?
Yeah.
Like,
but the whole the show is not like a comedy at all. So it just has like a very, almost uncomfortable tone the whole time. It's very suspenseful and kind of eerie. The show is through the entire time because you have no idea what's going on. Basically, you learn what I've told you, and then you get like little hints at other stuff throughout the next, I think it's only 10 episodes.
Okay.
And
one season, 10 episodes, the whole run.
No, there's more coming out.
Oh, okay.
I think another season coming this year, hopefully.
How do I get access to watch this show?
If you've bought an Apple device within the past certain amount of time, you might just have access to it.
An Apple device directly from Apple, or an
I don't
Apple
know.
Device from
you have to. There's you probably have access for free somehow. We'll look into it after.
I guess I was gonna ask if I could have your login.
Ooh, I just don't know.
Right now on the air, give it to us, Colin.
All right, my email address is colinisthe123@gmail.
At Gmail.
Yeah, it's a Gmail, but it's connected to an iCloud account.
Oh, nice.
My password is Colin123.
Nice. Use that.
Use that, please. Go ahead.
Please go ahead.
Use it.
Can you imagine if it logs into something? Like they just try it on everything. And it's like, whoa.
That'd be insane. Anyway,
because newsflash, that's not real.
I wouldn't give out information like that. So anyway, great show. I would highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Like the other shows, not for children. This one's pretty intense.
Okay.
So that's top 3.
So not for me.
Not for you.
It's okay. I'll get to it. Yeah.
Someday.
So that's top 3, and might be an episode.
Is that an episode?
Might be an episode.
Are you cool with it?
I kind of wanted to do.
Let's do it then.
No, it's too much.
Let's
okay, I'll do part of it. Okay, I'll do
got?
the Titanic one. Everybody's like, "What?" I love doing that. Okay, so bass player named Jordan Ray Landers.
Yep.
Okay, really good bass player.
Super good.
On his Instagram the other day, just doing random Q&A, which everybody just does this now. So it's like, it makes stories so painfully long.
Yeah.
So
stories are painful in the first place. Let's be real here.
They never used to be.
Really?
When I was a kid, I loved them.
Wow.
Now I hate them.
Yeah, I've always hated them.
Oh,
I
guess you've just always been an adult.
I'm just kind of a cynical person by nature.
That's true.
And I don't always like that about myself, but
it's who I am.
It's who I am, and you can't change
yourself.
I just can't. I was trying to make a joke like being cynical about it.
Oh,
but I just couldn't.
You couldn't
nail it.
But
because I'm the worst.
Oh, nice.
That was like a multiple layers of jokes.
That's nice. Okay, so here it is. Somebody asked him a question called Fave Conspiracy Thoughts, New or Not. Don't know what that means, but he basically answered it with his favorite conspiracy theory. And this is what it is. He goes, Fave fictional conspiracy theory is that Leo's characters in the Titanic Leo's character, okay,
Yep.
So Leonardo DiCaprio's character in the Titanic is a figment of Rose's imagination.
Okay. I've never seen the movie, but
you know that.
But I know the premise.
Yeah. Here is the explanation.
I know he dies and could have fit on the thing.
Okay, so it says, she makes him up to deal with how much she hates her own life. He lives the complete opposite of her life.
Mm-hmm.
That's why there's no record of him on the boat and why he could have fit on the door but didn't. She had to let him go. The sole idea of him from her mind. Rose represents the Titanic and Jack represents the iceberg. 2 different types of beings meant to float on the same ocean but never collide. I love it. I love that. By the way, we're in Kai's conspiracies right now because I've decided that any conspiracy that's brought to us will go into Kai's conspiracies because of alliteration. So I really love it. It's not deep. It's not like super earth shattering. Like, these are some of my favorite conspiracy theories.
Sure.
Because they're more just like fictional fan theories, right?
Yeah.
But this one it gives a piece to the Titanic that if you've seen it, I think you would if you've seen it, you either hate this, I think, or you love it like me, because it gives a piece to that movie. Like, you're going like, Oh, that's so awesome if it's true. Like it's all just about like it, and it's true. Like Jack in the movie lives the exact opposite life of Rose, and she doesn't like her life. Like she's pretty miserable.
Right.
So and the movie kind of sucks, like the Titanic. It's not a very good movie. I don't recommend that you watch it, but if you've seen it, cool. It's brutally long too. But yeah, anyway, I saw that and I was like, yo, that's a podcast. Like, just gotta, talk about it. So I did. That's what I think about it. I think it's cool. And it does give some closure to him not fitting on the door.
Yeah. I've heard about the door thing that it's not about the size of it. It's that it would have sank if he was on it. Because apparently when he's like...
He does try to get on it.
And it starts to sink.
Yeah. So I don't know why
I think that is what it comes down to.
I don't know why people get upset about it. They're like, he could have fit on the door. And it's like, okay, he literally tried. Like, it's like the people who made the movie were like, they're going to say that he can
I know, let's have him try to get on. Then when he can't get on, they'll be like, oh, he'll sink
it. Yeah, no. You've scarred humanity. Like,
yeah.
It's so stupid. But
I've never even seen the scene.
Well,
I've seen like like clips or not clips. I've seen like screenshots, you know, with.
It's also just like, it's so much not about him surviving. It's about like him giving his life for hers. Like, they could have taken turns too. Like got off and got on and got off and got on. But the idea is that he said, Rose, stay on the thing. Like, you need to live. Like,
he's being a gentleman.
Yeah. Just being a gentleman, dude. Anyway, I think that's a pod.
That's a pod.
It's a pod.
It's a pod.
We will see you guys in a while, but we'll have all sorts of stories.
So many stories.
We got to remember to keep up on. Oh, I have some honorable mentions for the top 3. I forgot.
Let's do that real quick.
Community is one of my.
Oh, you didn't even have that in your top 3, did you?
It wasn't in my top 3, but I absolutely love the show. Okay,
great show.
Also, another one. It's called The Last Kingdom. It's on Netflix. Check it out if you like sort of like medieval times stuff. Sure. It's a good show, but it kind of drags. But
okay,
yeah, but it's pretty good. Anyway,
I don't have any honorable mentions.
That's cool. That's okay.
I just thought of those 3 immediately. I was like, that's it. That's
Fair enough. Fair enough. You know your stuff.
Yep. Me gotta yawn now.
Hope you're all yawning. Anyway, nice to talk to you. See you next time.
Love you. Bye.